Welcome to the kingdom. I'm Chris, and this is Good Enough Gaming. Howdy folks, and welcome back to the series on how to play one-page rules. In this video, we're going to look at unit cards. Every unit in the game has a card that provides the information you need to know for how to use that army or that unit in a game of one-page rules. All the unit cards use the same format across just about every single game in one-page rules, with the exception of Warfleets. So let's go over how to read a unit's data card or data sheet. At the top is the unit's name, either the default name or the name you gave it in the Army Forge. Next comes the number of models that a unit has when it's at full strength, followed by the points cost for that unit. Underneath that are the numbers that are printed really big, because you're going to be using these the most in games. That's the quality and the defense. These are the target numbers that you need to hit on a 6-sided die when attacking, defending, and taking morale tests. When rolling a quality or a defense test, or a morale test too, you need to roll equal or better than the score of that particular quality. So a quality of 3+ means that a roll of 3, 4, 5, or 6 is a success, but a roll of a 1 or a 2 is a failure. Now beneath the quality and defense statistics is a list of any of the special rules that might be unique to that unit because of its faction, its unit abilities, and its equipped weapons. And then finally is a list of all the weapons, both ranged and melee, that a unit is equipped with. Each weapon has 4 statistics. RNG is the range of the weapon, measured in inches, and a dash means that it's a melee weapon. ATK is the number of attacks the weapon gets when it's used. So an A1 means that each model in the unit armed with that weapon gets 1 attack. AP refers to the armor-piercing value of that weapon, which will affect the defense value of the target unit. And SPE is where you're going to find keywords that identify any special rules associated with that weapon, such as deadly, blast, reliable, and so on. So in this case, a basic squad of Havoc Brothers come in a unit of 5 models for 140 points. They have a quality and a defense of 3+, which is above average for both. And each Havoc Brother has a close combat weapon, CCW, and a heavy rifle. Now, one important thing that many players forget or miss, especially when they're learning, is that number to the left of the weapon's name. This tells you how many models in the squad are equipped with that weapon, or how many of that weapon exist in the unit. The Havoc Brothers here have 5 models in the squad, and each has a heavy rifle. So when you shoot, you want to multiply that number by the number of attacks, and that's how many dice you're going to roll for the entire squad. But as the unit suffers casualties, this number on the left will decrease, and therefore so will the number of shots. Now for this squad of Havoc Brothers, that's not really a big deal because each brother gets 1 attack with each weapon, so losing 1 model reduces the total number of attacks by 1. Pretty straightforward. But if we look at this squad of Havoc Brothers that have been given a different equipment loadout, we see that their close combat weapons have an attack value of 2. So a full squad of 5 models at 2 attacks per model mean a total of 10 attacks in melee. And each time the unit suffers a casualty, we need to reduce the unit's total attacks by 2. And if we look at this unit, we have a squad that's been equipped with a heavy machine gun. The model with the heavy machine gun had to give up its heavy rifle. So now only 4 models have the heavy rifle at 1 attack each. But the model with the machine gun gets 3 attacks with it, and will continue to do so until that particular model with the machine gun is removed as a casualty. Now, I'd be lying if I said that I haven't been in multiple games where one of the players accidentally cheated themselves out of attacks because they forgot to multiply that number to the left of the name with the number of attacks for the weapon. And I'd also be lying if I said I haven't been in a couple games where a player forgot to reduce that number on the left as the unit took casualties. So just make sure when you're playing the games that you remember The number of attacks in a weapon's profile, that will never change, while the number to the left of the weapon name, that's reflective of how many models with that weapon are still in the unit. Okay, plain and simple. Now that we have a familiarity with how to read the unit cards, we're ready to play. So head on over to the next video where we'll take a look at activations, movement, shooting, and melee.